Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Notre Dame fans, whenever you are watching or listening to this week's Notre Dame football show. Really appreciate you for making us a part of your day. If you're watching live, watching back on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up on this video. Support what we're doing here at Blue and Gold. If you're listening via podcast, appreciate you as well. As always, ask that you leave a 5-star review. Fill out the reason why you're leaving us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. Tim, we got one of these live reaction shows where we did this a few weeks ago where we'll on our other monitors we'll watch the playoff rankings as they come out. We'll talk about it and we'll go from there. And it looks like as of today in the BCS little Tim, what is it called? Just the BCS formula predicting where Notre Dame will end up. It will be in the 5, and that would have the Irish in the 7-10 against Tennessee. So, Tim, hope you're well. Is that what you're thinking we're going to get tonight? Notre Dame in the 7, slotting up against Tennessee?
Slotting up against somebody, sure. I know. The hot take is Notre Dame jumping Penn State. I get it. Eye test, games, all that good stuff. And we'll get into this, obviously, when it comes out live. But my humble opinion, the reason why they're keeping Ohio State there is in case if they win the championship. You know what I mean? That's if they win the Big Ten title, excuse me. So if they're the Big Ten champs, your only loss is to the number 1 team in the country in the final seeding. I got a feeling they're just keeping them right there, because obviously we still have a couple weeks left, and you got USC as a common opponent this week that they could dive more into that. But that's really where this big debate is, at least in the middle, right? In the middle pack right there, because you still got the SEC championship game waiting to see who those two are. But the big battle is Penn State, Notre Dame, Indiana, Tennessee's kind of hanging in. The ACC is getting 2 teams. This is going to be fascinating tonight. And one last thing is Clemson. Old Dabo just chilling in the background. Are they ahead of Bama tonight? Because they have South Carolina at home at Clemson.
But what is their path then? Can they get in without getting the ACC title game?
Sure. That's the thing. Are they just hovering there? You know what I mean? Let's say Clemson beats South Carolina, who's the hottest team in the country, out there. If they're ahead of Bama, beat South Carolina, who's that hot SEC team. Do they, does Vandy upset Tennessee? There's Notre Dame at the bed at Southern Cal, which has happened many, many times when they're ranked this high. So they're just lurking right there. So I'm looking forward to seeing where Clemson is. Because I don't know, just real quick on the ACC, we dive into this more with the people here in the chat with us is if it's 11-1 SMU, 11-1 Miami, I think both are in. And Clemson's just waiting for some upset somewhere else. So
interesting.
That's a nice little one because go for it.
I have a hot take. This is not going to be popular.
I like it because we haven't chatted about this. So I like this fresh stuff right here.
The Penn State hate. I think Notre Dame's a better team than Penn State. But Notre Dame fans tell me, if you were a Penn State fan, you would be livid if Notre Dame was put over Penn State. Just be honest with yourself. You would be. Look at their schedule.
I know.
Beat West Virginia by 22 points. Not a great win against Bowling Green. Yeah, you have one of those, right? Blow out Kent State. Beat a decent Illinois team by 2 touchdowns. They're ranked. Beat UCLA by 16. You win at USC. You win at Wisconsin.
Yep.
You lose at home to Ohio State. Got you. Blow out Washington, blow out Purdue, and you beat Minnesota on the road. Like it's not like a glaring. See, like John says, Penn State's schedule is trash. It seems to me it's better than Notre Dame's.
Well, it is better because you look at all the
metrics. I don't get it. Like just looking on paper. Now we want to talk the eye test, subjective nature. Got you.
Let me just pause you to throw this in because obviously, hey, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I get it. But when I look at these, I try and dive it. Okay, I'm in the committee. What are these guys thinking so we could have a conversation. Penn State strength of schedule per ESPN's 32, per Jeff Sagarin's computer 37. Sagarin's the old BCS computer, so they're in the 30s. Notre Dame's in this is 78 and 65. 78 and 65. Which, by the way, Indiana, after playing Ohio State, where the heck's Indiana, Tim? They're 51 strength of schedule. So Indiana's strength is above Notre Dame's now.
Yeah, it's interesting because people say that, like John just said, oh, their best win is over a 6-5 team. But when you do look objectively, the strength of schedule, this was posted on the 21st.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's is 82 and Penn State's 35. So I think Notre Dame's the better team than Penn State. But I think if you take off the blue and gold color glasses, I don't know how you would be able to have Notre Dame jump Penn State this week. I think that's pretty.
And for me, I mean, you're looking at it like the football games. Obviously, Notre Dame. We talked about it in our show the other night. It is ridiculous. They're 399 to 92 since NIU. They've annihilated teams. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, we could be objective, sure. Wisconsin's 5-6, Georgia Tech 7-4. If you want to compare those types of guys, but what's a bigger win, at Wisconsin or at neutral site Georgia Tech? I'm just saying these are things these committees look at. Is Notre Dame analytics, Notre Dame? When you look at all the numbers, they have the computers. Every single damn computer basically has Notre Dame above Penn State and tons of them. I mean,
I guess my point, Tim, before we move on, is that not that I don't think Notre Dame should be ranked ahead of them. I just don't see if they already put Penn State above them. I don't know how they can make the switch to put Notre Dame above Penn State right now. I just don't. I don't see if they do it. That'll be a surprise to me, and that would be great. And I think Notre Dame's a better team, but I don't see them doing it because Penn State beat Minnesota on the road. It wasn't Notre Dame's a better team, but blowing out Army, and then I don't know if that's going to do it. We'll see.
No, exactly. And when you look at the football power index, Notre Dame's number 3, Penn State's 9. Sagarin's computer, they're number 2 in the country now in the old BCS computer. Penn State's 8. So you could see that game control, ESPN's game control. They're 6. Penn State's 14. So that tells you, because Notre Dame's just blasting teams, they're owning teams, all those things. So a lot of these giant computer numbers definitely favor Notre Dame because they have smash teams. But that is going to be a big debate. And I say this every week, and I'm going to say it again. It might not be popular, but it does matter to these committee people. Penn State's played 10 Power 4 games, Notre Dame 8. It's just, I mean, you could say, look at they both have Purdue. I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State's still ahead in that 4-5 until after SC. If Notre Dame goes and does to SC, which they've done to everyone else in the last 2 months, you could see them jumping. And then to my first point to start to show something about those guys in the committee, like, well, let's just wait and see how this plays out. Because if Ohio State's our number 1 seed, Penn State's only loss is the number 1 team in the country, meaning Ohio State beats Oregon in the championship game. How do you jump Notre Dame when their loss is to NIU and Penn State's the number 1 team? I think I wouldn't be surprised if the committee's talking about those things, just as a little background.
Yep. So like I said a minute ago, we are going to, you guys will have to let us know in the chat when this starts. The show starts at 8 Eastern.
It's after this basketball game, Mike.
Which basketball game?
Whatever's on ESPN. It was Memphis and whoever they're playing tonight.
Michigan State. Okay,
yeah. It's after this game. They do this every damn year. They try and.
All right. There's 2 minutes or 3 minutes left in that game,
which could be 25 in college basketball.
Right, with fouls and whatnot. Yeah, it's a 9-point game right now, so we might get some of that. But
that's a nice little jump into which I think is the big debate, is that Notre Dame Penn State right there.
Tim, let's talk about tickets and gametime.co, not .com, damn it, gametime.co, the fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer last minute ticket deals, so you can just get relaxed and hyped for that fun that you're going to have at the event. The website, super easy to manage. It also looks like it just got a little upgrade here when it goes to gametime.co. It's a little cleaner because before you had to scroll through all those different things. Now, clean layout here. You can look at teams nearby. I have this set to Chicago. Figure we got a lot of Chicago folks. So you can search it by teams, our artists, all this sort of stuff that you can check out at gametime.co, which filters out one of their best features is Game Time Picks, which makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. It filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You'll have the all-in pricing. When you toggle this feature on, you get no surprise fees at checkouts. You can check out seat views to get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you purchase, and you'll get the lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Make sure you download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code ON3. That'll be good for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, folks, create an account, redeem the code ON3. That's on 3 for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So, Tim, the Jim Thorpe Award came out with its finalists today, and there were three guys on the list. It was Downs at Ohio State, Malachi Starks at Georgia, and Jahdae Barron at Texas. And I've really liked this CFB Rep Twitter account. They have loved Notre Dame this season and making good points here. So this account posted Xavier Watts this year. 121 yards allowed, some PFF stats here, right? 0 TD is allowed, 4 interceptions, only 13 catches allowed, a 26 NFL passer rating when targeted, a sack, 8 PBUs, and a forced fumble, not named for the Jim Thorpe Award. Tim, I know Deion Sanders is going crazy out there for Travis Hunter not being a finalist, but I feel like Xavier Watts is playing his best football. He was my team MVP prediction before the season. He's definitely playing like it. Leonard might get it because he's the quarterback, but Xavier Watts balling this year. Are you surprised? Do you not really care about this? What's your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, surprised just because it's going back to even the preseason. He was preseason second team All-American by everyone because Starks and Downs were the first team consensus picks to be All-American this year. Watts was unanimous last year, comes back, and he's not even first team on the first team All-American list. Makes no sense. So he's been fighting an uphill climb with those guys all year long. The Texas dude is legit. I would have put Watts in there because, I mean, they have the best secondary in the country, best pass defense, best this, best that, all these stats compared. Them in Texas. Texas is up there as well with Notre Dame. I would have had Watts out there. And how Travis Hunter is, I mean, I saw, by the way, Travis Hunter's a Biletnikoff finalist. So he's up for the best wide receiver. So dude, can you imagine going to the NFL and just choosing what you want to play? It's like, pick one of them, buddy. No, he's electric. I saw that, and that blew my mind. Like, first, I was Watts and Hunter. I mean, they've just been dominant. So very, very surprising for both those guys. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a shock. It's almost like Estime last year. How the hell was he not a finalist for the Doak Walker? He didn't have to win it. The Oklahoma State guy was a freakazoid. But how in the hell was Estime not a finalist with the season he had last year, right? Or Mayer not winning. There's so many awards. I say it every year. I want to know where the Outland Trophy voting is for Quentin Nelson and Joe Alt. I'm still amazed those two guys didn't win it. And Joe Alt's probably going to be on some NFL All-Pros this year. He's playing absolutely amazing.
Folks in the chat are talking about the Heisman. Who do you want to see win it? I'm not going to ask you who you think's going to win it. It doesn't matter. Who would you have winning it?
I would love for the Boise guy.
I'm in the same boat.
He's been amazing. Seriously, he's been amazing. Especially the running back, the stats he's putting up. I mean, they're just dynamic. it's awesome. There's no, I mean, when you look at it, Cam Ward's he is special, man. He's a damn good quarterback. So you probably have to go my three finalists would be Ward, Travis Hunter, and I haven't watched. I've only watched a little bit of Colorado. I watched some of the game last week with Kansas, but dude, when you play 150 snaps, or whatever,
it's
dude, he's got like 1,000 yards receiving, and no one's got a pass on him all year. So it's like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. It feels like a damn good Heisman year. Like, there's not like a runaway for me, but you can't really go wrong. I just think the Boise kid. And when's the last time you had a non-power conference Heisman winner, Tim?
Oh, a winner? I mean, what are you going back to Army? Ty Detmer. Oh my God, Tim, Ty Detmer when he was at BYU back in the day, stealing it from the Rocket in Notre Dame in 1990. But yeah, who else? Klinger, David Klinger.
Klinger, I barely know her.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's a movie reference, I'm not saying I've watched it, so that's our policy. But no, it's been a while. I like him. I think Hunter's getting all the hype.
2,000 rushing yards, and he balled out against Oregon.
I agree. I agree. I hope he gets it. I think it'd be great to see a running back get it with his numbers.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing it.
Some of the other, they'll probably end up finishing second, which is too bad.
Yeah, you know me, Tim. I don't like the whole Colorado media circus, and I don't like, Dave Portnoy and some billionaire buying a quarterback for Michigan. I'm just too old school for all this crap. Too old school. Okay. But that is just me. Question for you, Tim. Kyle Kelly texted me about a half hour ago, and he said, I want you to ask this to Tim in tonight's show. And I was like, I might need some content before we get to this ranking. So this is great. Who has been Notre Dame's best offensive lineman this season? Put you on the spot.
Well, it hasn't been Wagner the last couple of weeks. He has really taken a dip, but he's probably been the most consistent. I'll be honest with you, man. Pat freaking Coogan has been unbelievable. Seriously,
Kyle's gonna like hearing that. He said, considering the circumstances, I think Pat Coogan has a legit argument. That's what Kyle texted.
His PFF pass blocking grade is 84. 84. That's freakish. He's one of the top ranked centers in all the country when you look at all his numbers there. And then when you watch the film, you always see that dude in there kicking butt. He has been pleasant surprise. Billy has gone up and down a little bit, but that's, coming off an injury and all those things. The guy says don't trust PFF. Well, actually, if you watch the film, they're pretty on cue when you look at some of the grades at times. But anyway, Wagner would be my second. Rocco's been, I would give it to Coogan. If I had to vote right now, I would go Pat Coogan, O-lineman of the year. Seriously, for coming in, losing his left guard job, obviously rallying to learn center during training camp. Ashton Craig, who's a hell of a football player, gets hurt. Yeah, I would go Pat Coogan.
What about Stroud?
Yeah, he's in there. Well, I mean, his injury is the thing. You know what? And you see him limping at times during the game. I wonder how 100% that guy really is. But he was a freak the other day in the Army, just mauling guys. Literally, I mean, pancakes. Like, dude, come on, be nice a little bit, right? It's like, come on, just destroying guys in there. You know what? It's been a good group. It's they have 4 guys. Once again, people, I don't like PFF. Well, great. It's a number. People.
It's at a point, man. Come on.
It's a damn number. Mike, they have 4 guys with over 70 grade.
Yeah.
So, 65 is really considered the benchmark of winning football. 70 is doing your job plus. So they have 4 guys. And as I've said, people like to boo-hoo on Anthony Knapp. His grade's higher than Robert Hainsey as a freshman. And he was on the Joe Moore Award team. So it's pretty cool. But I would go Pat Coogan.
Okay. Yeah, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. This Memphis-Michigan State game, 30 seconds left. Just please end so we can get to the college football playoff reaction show. I can't believe that in the year 2024, this is how something, it's not like streaming on Netflix live or, it's an ESPN Plus thing, or you have to do the Disney bundle just to watch the reaction show and sign up for 6 different things. This is just good old broadcast television waiting for something to end.
Wait for something to end. The countdown
streaming on Twitch,
countdown to USC and the stress of that game.
We're gonna get there in just a second, Tim. But we're gonna pay some bills and talk about Augie's locker room, folks, because we know you love Notre Dame memorabilia, and there's one place you have to go, and you can go to the online store at augieslockerroom.com. Great stuff there for folks watching on YouTube. That's what we're looking at on the screen. But when you're in town, or if you're a local, whatever the case may be, you do have to go to Augie's Locker Room. New location as of last October, 1733 North Ironwood Drive in South Bend, right down the street from Notre Dame. A wide selection of Notre Dame stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, one-of-a-kind Rockney items, and so much more. You got exclusive Joe Montana signed items, famous sculptor Jerry McKenna's replicas of bronze statues around the stadium, and Augie's getting new stuff in all the time. I have to say, Tim, I have, you guys see behind me in my setup, I can always, get some new things. I mean, how sick, Tim, would one of these mini helmets look? A signed mini helmet back there. I got this one on Amazon for whatever, but something signed. Oh, chat. Oh, we need this. We need the Joe Alt signed mini helmet to go, maybe right over here. Replace the Dolphins one. Can we make this happen? Oh, that is clean. I'm telling you, folks, where else are you going to get all of this stuff but Augie's Locker Room? If he doesn't have something in store, he's going to find it for you. So visit Augie at 1733 North Ironwood Drive in South Bend. See the vintage home display dating back to 1890. Augie's got amazing stuff. You're going to want to check it out. Augie'sLockerRoom.com, 574-277-6363. Damn. Someone wants to get this for me for Christmas. Come on. Get it. Let's get it done. Get one signed by Drew Pine. There you go.
Hey, real quick on the O-line. One of the great discussions people like to have is everyone always wants to talk about who's starting next year, 9 months in advance on the O-line. Do people realize all 5 of these guys can come back? Are they really going to have Pat Coogan leave after back-to-back years starting and playing better center than he did guard? Going to ask Rocco to leave after 25 starts and playing better as a senior than he did as a junior, than a sophomore. You know what I mean? So I always love this discussion in our chat. I always see things when you and Goolsby do a show. People always talk about, oh, this guy's starting. Anthony Knapp's going to ride the bench, so they're going to give up that guy and his 900 snaps this year. It's a fascinating topic, and we'll have tons of them later. But yeah, Anthony Knapp's going to be a freshman All-American. He's going to ride the bench for the rest of his career. Come on.
Yeah, I don't see it,
I know it's always a fun little topic since O-line was brought up today.
It is a fun topic, and yeah, I just don't see that happening. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't see that one happening.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a good problem to have for sure. So Tim, let's talk about Notre Dame-USC. Wait, before we do that, no, we'll save that for the end of the show. Never mind. So you have Notre Dame 49 wins in this series. You got 5 ties. When were those? Where were the ties?
Well, the streak ended in 94 with a tie. So there's definitely a tie there. The 94 tie was the last one. 1968 was one when they were both in the top 10. Yeah.
1948.
Yeah, they had back-to-back ties, I believe, 68, 69.
Yeah, 36. So, yeah, Notre Dame leading the series 49-37 with 5 ties in there. I really love Winsipedia. This is a cool cool website. Largest margin of victory back in 66, Notre Dame 51 zip. Longest win streak, Notre Dame from 83 to 93. largest margin, or that's for, or the largest margin of victory for USC, 38-0 back in 2007. Then USC's longest win streak, 7 from 02 to 09.
Now, real quick, us Notre Dame fans, it's really 13 because 94 was a tie, so it's not a loss, right? 95, they beat number 5 SC, so it's 13. But
sure.
I get what
Or it's more like a longest unbeaten streak, maybe.
Yes,
That
even sounds nicer over USC.
Yeah. What did ties look like in 1994, Tim?
Slugfest, baby.
No, in terms of the rules.
Oh, they weren't in yet.
I was 1 year old, so there's no overtime, or
yeah, they didn't start till a couple years later. So yeah, they played 4
overtime started in like 96. You're saying?
Yeah, I think 96, 90. No, definitely 96 because they lost to freaking Air Force in 96. So yeah, I think that was the
All right,
first
guys. I'm only 31.
Yeah.
I'm only 31. All right, the college football playoff ranking show is now on. But Tim,
yeah, let's get.
So we'll talk about that. But just do you have a little bit of a clench factor in your rear going into this one? Just be honest. Are you nervous?
Yeah, can I be honest? Hell yeah, I do. It's it's USC. It's the Coliseum. Demons are in that place, Mike. Demons, bad guys, Mike. They're God. Oh, who's ever in the? It's got to be. Is it 80 or 82? Well, I've talked about this before. The running back jumps over the pile. The ball's on the 2-yard line. There's a picture of him in the LA Times. The Notre Dame guy has the ball on the 2-yard line, and the refs are signaling touchdown. How the hell you score a touchdown? You don't have a football. So yes. Thank God today they got replays, but I think that was 82. But yeah, there's tons. I mean, you go back to 1996, Lou Holtz's last game, shank some PATs. If they win that, they're playing Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. A couple just 2 years ago, Caleb Williams making Al Golden's defense look like me and you trying to cover. Horrible. So some bad games. Obviously, 06, they were a top 10 battle. SC, it was a scrimmage. Goolsby's year in 02, just Carson Palmer wins the Heisman when both teams are ranked in the top 10. It's brutal. Hold on, I got a quick stat here. I mean, one of the greatest eras of all time. Look at this. You got era, Dan Devine, Lou Holtz. They won national championships. They went 6-9-2 in the Coliseum. So you got three guys with statues don't have a winning record there. Amongst those three, Holtz did. But at the same time, 2000 they went into there on Mike Goolsby's freshman year. 2000 they had to win that game to go to the Fiesta Bowl, and they did. So, and obviously the last 2 times with this much pressure, meaning what's at stake, was obviously 2012, 2018. Both teams 11-0, beat SC in the Coliseum. You're going to the playoffs, going to the national title game. So this definitely has a 12 and an 18 feel more than anything. So not pucker, let's just get to the end of 60 minutes. Let's get a damn win in that hellhole known as the Coliseum, and let's go celebrate. You're on mute, Mike.
Thank you. New rankings coming out now. You got Colorado's down from 14 to 25.
Wow, that's a drop. So that means Army's out?
Yes. You were yapping too much. I didn't pause the screen.
That's all right. Oh, you got me hyped up, man. It's USC week, Mike. Come on.
I'm kidding. It's okay.
I know.
I don't have the 21 through 25, but you got A&M's at 20, Tim. So that's only 5 spots down for them, which is that's okay, you know. BYU's at 19, Iowa State at 18. BYU just lost, yeah.
Yeah, I got 25 here, Mike. It's Colorado 25, Kansas State 24, yep. Illinois. That's Penn State's big win is Illinois, and UNLV, and then whoever 21 is.
Yep. Okay. Missouri. Yeah, A&M, Missouri 21, Texas A&M 20, yep. BYU 19, Iowa State 18, Tulane 17. They got a big game against Memphis coming up, and then Arizona State at 16. Arizona State's just really come out of nowhere as this big playoff contender,
Dude,
as the Big
right
12
there.
just cannot figure their crap out. South Carolina, sneaky good team.
Yeah, they are.
The number 15 team in the country now. They're up 3 spots. And then continue to react to this live. Yeah, no Army.
Yeah, no Army. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, they still have a game this week, and then if they beat Tulane, they'll be back in. Tulane, they've already been clinched. I think them and Tulane have already
I
clinched.
think
Championship.
Tulane will beat
Probably.
Army
And that's
convincingly.
going to be now. If A&M loses, Notre Dame is going to go into this tournament with no ranked wins. So that's a killer.
Riley Sutherland says, get Bam out of the top 15. It's not going to happen, brother. So South Carolina's 15, Ole Miss 14. I'm going to guess Alabama's 13 or 12.
Bama's going to, yeah, well, that's the thing is Bama Clemson. Bama Clemson are going to be the next batch up here to see where they're at. So this is going to be, this is going to be a telltale here is if it's Clemson.
Alabama's 13, down 6 spots.
So that's good. That means Clemson's ahead of them.
Yeah.
So Clemson, South Carolina at Clemson, man, what a war that's going to be. That's a noon kickoff, by the way, noon Eastern. That's going to be wild.
Okay.
Yeah. I just looked that up today. I was like, oh, where's that game going to be? It's at Clemson. That noon.
I got property in Clemson, so I always kind of.
There you go.
I don't mind Clemson being okay. So
yeah, and I know I'm sure some Notre Dame fans will talk about Army, but I mean they're a group of 5. They got smashed. I mean, they could still get back in if they win their conference. So
Tulane has Mario Williams at wide receiver. He is the old Oklahoma receiver. He was in
SC. That's the USC guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yep. He's at Tulane. Yeah.
Okay.
Clemson's now at 12. What a nice rise for Clemson after they just got the doors beaten off of them by Georgia to start the season. What was Clemson's other loss, Tim?
Louisville smashed them. Remember, at Clemson. So Clemson's been one of those teams that really hasn't done anything this year other than beat up a bunch of lightweights, and then the 2 big dogs they played, they've gotten smashed. Georgia. And then
Louisville's a big dog, huh? I'm just teasing you.
Well, their second best. Yeah, that's their second best team because they didn't get Miami. They didn't get.
Yeah, they beat Pitt, who I think Pitt, VTech, Virginia, Wake, FSU, Stanford, Boise comes in as the number 11 team. Stanford, NC State, Kentucky. Kentucky was last year. I'm sorry.
So Notre Dame played a harder ACC schedule than Clemson because they got Georgia Tech and Louisville.
So Boise State, their FPI ranked 27. And then that FPI, by the way, that the Football Power Index loves Notre Dame. They have loved Notre Dame all year. After the NIU game, they barely dropped. The ESPN's FPI loves Notre Dame.
When I saw Jeff Sagarin's computer rank Notre Dame 2, I was like, whoa. And then I went to a bunch of other computer sites. They love Notre Dame, man. They just love them. The computers. They just put all those little data points in there. So again, senior data points. There you go.
Indiana at number 10. So we're just reading the rankings here, and then we will get to the bracket, and we'll pop that up on the screen when we have it. But so Indiana drops from 5 to 10, Tim.
So they'll be 11. So they're going to right now.
SMU.
Yes, SMU is going to
number 9. They jump from 13 to number 9, Tim.
Yeah, I mean they're right there. Their only loss is to Brigham Young, so they're playing good football.
Do you think if
yes,
is there a situation where SMU wins, I don't think Miami gets in, or if Miami wins, I don't think SMU gets in. You think they both get in? It's just a matter of
that's my gut feeling. I think this committee is going to say, play your schedule, do your thing. If you're in a conference championship game at 11-1, man,
Tim, we got Tennessee. We got Tennessee at number 8, moving up 3 spots.
So is Georgia 7? Does Georgia jump any of these guys? I don't think they will. So we'll see that. Yeah, this is going to be fascinating. So right now that 6-11 game would be whoever versus Indiana. You got SMU in there next at the 10.
Georgia's number 7.
So dude, is this the same thing as the On3 one? I saw that tweet. I didn't save it. You know how they come out with theirs? I think, telling you, this is lining up like the BCS, isn't it, Mike? Where's that BCS ranking again? I sent you right here. Well, they had Boise 11. Yeah, they had
Miami 7.
Yeah.
So what? They have to have Miami 6 then, right? Miami 6, Notre Dame 5.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, they have. Yeah, the BCS has Tennessee 10 and Indiana. They just have those guys flipped.
So Miami 6.
So here we go.
SMU moved up 4, Tennessee 3, Georgia 3, Miami moved up a couple spots. You just had, Indiana falling.
All right, what do we think? What do we think?
Notre Dame or Penn State? I still think it would be a bold move. And why would the committee? Listen, I'm not going to wave ND pom-poms here. I'm going to give this to you guys straight up. I don't think, why would the committee make that move now? Wait after the USC game if you're going to switch the two teams.
That's what I'm thinking. Sure, they annihilated a ranked team in Army in the committee's ranks last week. That's why Army's not ranked.
ND number 5, Tim. So Notre Dame, the number 5 team in the country, with that terrible NIU loss. The Irish just keep on moving up, baby. So number 5, Notre Dame.
So in this projections, they got Notre Dame hosting SMU. Take it, Mike. Take it.
Oh.
But they're going to be right there. I think we now know they're going to be 6 or 7, right? You beat SC, and it's going to come down to that committee ranking.
Penn State 4.
Them and Penn State are going to battle till the end. I have this weird feeling Ohio State wins the Big Ten. They're going to keep Penn State there.
And then Texas 3, then you'll have Ohio State 2 and Oregon 1. And then as soon as we can get a graphic of the new playoff seeding, we'll pop that up on the screen. So, interesting. The SMU thing, Tim, do you feel like there's a scenario where Notre Dame would actually play SMU, though? I feel like I could.
As I like to say during my lunchtime, I like to get away from the world and play Timmy Hyde bracketology. So I started just playing what ifs, and it's the 6-11 or 7-10. I don't think the ACC is going to get penalized. I don't. If they're both 11-1, they're both top 10 teams now. Why would you throw them out of there for a 3-loss team, right? In the SEC, people can complain all they want in the SEC country. Go for it. But I think in 2 weeks, man, I think it's going to be Notre Dame, IU, Notre Dame, Miami, SMU loser.
All right, you ready?
Go for it.
All right, so here we go. It's kind of dark because I have the stream paused. So the buys, you have Oregon's the 1, obviously, Texas 2, Miami 3, Boise, the number 11 team, the number 4 seed, and then the highest ranked non-conference champion, obviously, have Ohio State. They're the number 2 team, but the number 5 seed. So it would be Ohio State, Arizona State, the projected Big 12 champs, the highest ranked Big 12 champs, right? The 8-9 game, Tennessee and Georgia. That would be a fun one. Indiana, Penn State. Interesting. So you have SEC versus SEC, Big 10 versus Big 10. And then in the 7-10, like Tim mentioned, Notre Dame versus SMU. Winner plays Texas. I don't know how I feel about SMU with my whole shtick about I want Notre Dame in that first round to get a big boy. SMU probably doesn't do it for me. But
for Notre Dame that hasn't won a damn thing in ages, winning a playoff game counts. Who gives a damn?
I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying. That's why it's going to be. It could be 11.
It's a preference, Tim. I'm just saying it's a preference thing. I want it to be. I want Tennessee or. It can't be Penn State.
They're going to play those guys in the next round. Like in this scenario, they're going to go play Texas in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, and then Texas could. My whole thing is, what if Notre Dame beats SMU and then gets their doors beat off them by Texas? I want that marquee win right off the bat for Freeman. But maybe SMU does it. Maybe SMU would do it.
It doesn't. No, a playoff win is a playoff win. There's no such thing as, well, that's a lesser playoff win. You're in the group of 12 and you beat somebody, that's a playoff win.
Tim, you are speaking factually and logically. 100% agree with you. I am speaking from how I feel on the matter. Just totally subjective. For someone who's going to listen to all the yapping from all the SEC fans and all that crap, I just want Notre Dame to get that, like Mark said, to get that monkey off the back and beat that big team right away. Now, if they could beat SMU and then Texas, that's fantastic. I'll sign up for that. I still just want Notre Dame to get that damn monkey off their back. That's just how I feel.
Hold on. The monkey off the back would be winning anything after a regular season. Sun Bowls don't
But
count.
you know what they're going to say, Tim? Oh, yeah, but you just beat SMU or you just beat Indiana. I want Tennessee or Georgia.
Okay, but who gives a damn? You beat 10-3 SEC.
I give a damn. I give a damn.
A win is you're in the freaking playoffs, man. Just getting into the playoffs is a massive thing. To win a playoff game and then boom, you're going into the next round. Huge.
Listen, I am telling you, Tim, you're arguing with me. You're not going to change my mind.
I'm not.
That's just what I want to see. I am not saying, you handsome SOB, that this is what it needs to be. I am just saying I want Notre Dame to just get that win. If they beat SMU, I'll do, cartwheels and, take my shirt off in a show and be all fired up. But I'm just saying I want them to beat Tennessee or Georgia.
Okay. I want Notre Dame to win a championship. So guess what? You got to beat all these guys anyway. So who gives a damn? You got to beat all of them. You got to beat all of them.
You do.
This is a football team that's showing that they could win it all. So who gives a damn? It's going to happen. So it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, then boom, yeah, we're right back to where we were again. Like, oh, false Notre Dame. So let's just get one damn win. I think that's a biggie. And it's hold on. And when you're playing that 10-11 team, you're obviously at the bottom of the bracket, so you're going to be playing a team that's getting in the last second. So
yeah, but there's just a difference between SMU. I mean, they were great back in the day, but regardless, Tim, thoughts on this top 25. So Penn State did stick over Notre Dame, so we agree.
I agree with that.
Penn State's not as good as Notre Dame. We're Notre Dame guys. Of course, we're going to say that, right? But I still think the eye test, Notre Dame's playing better football, but they were not going to move Notre Dame over Penn State right now. They just weren't going to do it.
No, I don't think so.
So
no, I'm with you. It's funny. And a couple of my things I was doing today, it's literally, man, I was like, the more I dove into it today during lunch, it's I know you want SEC. I want Notre Dame, Miami. I want Miami to come up here in December. And then we play them obviously to kickstart next year. So
give me that. Yeah, SMU beats Miami, and then Miami takes that SMU spot. I'll take that. That'd be sweet.
It's gonna be, even if Notre Dame jumps up that 6-11 or 6-11, 7-10 between Penn State and Notre Dame, I think those two, Penn State and Notre Dame, as long as they handle business on Saturday, are going to play Miami, SMU, Indiana. I think that's pretty much set. Now, does Georgia go in and win? This is something I was thinking about. Does Georgia win the SEC? They jump into Texas' spot. Does Texas replace Georgia in the rankings to keep Texas a home team at the 8 seed? So just little things I was thinking about. I don't think Texas losing, you know what I mean, Mike? If Texas loses 2 games to Georgia this year, I don't think they would be ahead of Penn State and Notre Dame. That's just my gut. I think they would give Texas the home game as the 8 seed.
All right, I got to post something to our Instagram account, Tim. So what else is on your mind with
no, go for it. I love, like I said earlier, I like seeing Clemson there just to piss off the SEC folks that are all bunched together right there. But my God, man, those guys all got 3 losses, some bad losses. Oklahoma made Alabama look like just horrible football. I saw a stat today, like Milroe since, oh my God, whatever game they won big earlier in the year, he's only like 50% in the last 6 games or so, something atrocious. And obviously he threw a ton of picks the other day. So that was nice. But Georgia's right there. I think at the end of this, I think it's going to be Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, 3 is going to be the ACC winner, and 4 is going to Boise's going to finish 4 as long as they handle business here. They're going to look like play UNLV, correct?
Yeah, and UNLV's a ranked team.
Yeah, a ranked team. So
right.
which is nuts that Boise is going to finish there. I don't see Arizona, the Big 12 winner jumping ahead of Boise somehow.
Yeah.
Miami,
No.
Yeah. Bad matchup for MD. Miami goes
West Palm Pat talking about Miami being a tough matchup for the Irish. What do you think, Tim?
No, it's a perfect matchup. They like to throw the ball, and what does Al Golden like to do? Play pass defense. Are you kidding me? This is the perfect matchup. The perfect matchup in a playoff game in cold night Friday. Seriously, Mike, Friday night. I'm telling you, Notre Dame's playing that Friday night game. Lock it in, folks.
What has Miami done all season long but look suspect?
But still, Notre Dame, Miami, Friday night under the lights, first playoff game in the first group of 12. Please. Oh my God, that's like TV heaven. And that's Notre Dame heaven. I mean, Al Golden's like, I get to play 6-7 DBs every snap. Hell yeah. I don't have to play 5 down guys and handle the wishbone like Army.
Yeah. And in terms of who I would like to see of these likely matchups or potential teams they could play, Miami's the number 1 for me. And then it's Tennessee and then Georgia and then like Indiana and then SMU. That would be my look at this. And then, Clemson would be somewhere in the middle of that. But we've seen Notre Dame play Clemson. Recently, I would love to see Notre Dame Miami.
Now, I'm of the opinion of if Georgia's 10-2, handle Georgia Tech this week, and then you go play Texas and you lose to Texas, I think they'll still be in at 10-3. I don't think it's hard to see who's jumping in unless there's just a meltdown. If the key is like I said earlier, is Tennessee. Just Tennessee lose to Vanderbilt, they're out.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's not getting in at 10-2. I don't think so. 10-2 with 2 losses, the 2 unranked teams.
Yeah.
How do you get them in?
Right. Yeah. And Alabama or an Ole Miss or
someone. I mean, Clemson will be sitting there at 10-2, right? Even though, and their 2 losses would be to Louisville, who's not ranked, and then the SEC champ Georgia. That would be a debate when you're looking at that 11 seed now.
Yeah, I Notre Dame can't. It's not even a discussion point for me. They can't lose.
I agree. I agree. It's like you're right there. Damn it, go ahead.
Like what is Notre Dame's marquee win this season?
That's what I'm saying. A&M loses to Texas. Who is it? An 8-4 A&M team?
It's A&M, but yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It would be an 8-4 unranked A&M who finishes 8th place in the SEC. How's that?
I'm not. So for all of us who say the NIU loss though was so early in the season, well, you can use that same logic to downplay the A&M win for Notre Dame. I'm just speaking my truth, folks. Don't care if you don't like it. I'm speaking my truth. So Notre Dame cannot afford to lose. If they do, they shouldn't be in. They shouldn't be in. So
no, I agree. I agree. You can't go beat an unranked 6-5 SC team. No.
Yeah.
Go enjoy the Blue Bonnet Bowl, or no, what it would be, the Champ Sports Bowl. No, I don't even want to think about it because I'll be so pissed, Mike. I won't do a show for 3 months. I'm gonna I'm gonna go dark.
This is a big deal.
Seriously. I'm like, what? Seriously, if they don't handle USC after this run, what the hell are we going to talk about? Hey, everybody, here's Tim Hyde and Mike Singer for our prediction video for the back-to-back Sun Bowl. Hell, no one cares. We'll get 15 people watching that thing, okay? So, no, it's a big game, Mike. It's a big game, buddy.
Huge.
Huge for all of Notre Dame fans, everybody affiliated and just associated with Notre Dame in your blood and born and raised around this stuff, man. It's SC, the Coliseum. It's It's like I said, it's 2012 and 2018 all over again. It's right there. It's right there.
All right, as we wrap up the show, I'm going to be looking at the YouTube comments. We'll take some of your guys' questions. Rip Jules says, do we jump Penn State if we blow out USC? I think there needs to be part blowout USC. Maybe Penn State looks unconvincing against Maryland. And then Oregon beating Ohio State.
Yes. That is the dream scenario. Notre Dame goes and wins by 17. Are they favored by 6.5? You win by 17 on the road, hard environment. The committee knows what this game means. All that good stuff. And Ohio State loses again to Oregon, 2 losses. Penn State. I think that 5 seed, I've said it all along, is going to be the loser of that Big Ten game.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Oregon's going to get the 5th. That's when you could jump Notre Dame, and you could be like, okay, now their losses to against a 2-loss Ohio State team, but now let's really compare Penn State Notre Dame at the end of this season when it's 11-1.
Yeah. Tom says, don't forget, if A&M beats Texas, it helps our resume. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, they're in the SEC championship game. Yes. Yeah. Because even if they lose that game to Georgia, they'll have 4 losses. They will still be ranked. They'll be in the top 20 after losing.
If A&M,
oh my God,
man, the other night I was just going through a hole in my feelings about this stuff. If A&M beats Texas and wins the SEC championship, are we talking about a 3-loss number 2 seed?
Sure. SEC champs. Yeah, I mean,
beat Texas and then Georgia.
They would be if I think,
or maybe Miami, maybe ACC.
Miami would get it too. Miami, I think that because it's the
Miami
name,
or SMU. Yeah. And your one loss.
SMU. I don't think SMU because I don't. I think they would jump A&M because they're going to jump A&M up to the top 12-ish
if they beat Texas.
If they beat Texas, you know what I mean? I mean, they're jumping up there. You go beat Texas, the number 3 team here. Yeah, you're jumping up there. So then you beat Georgia. Hell yeah. You could easily move into that 3 or 4. So, but Miami with the name and the quarterback, if they're 12-1 ACC champs, I could see them as the 2 seed if A&M wins the SEC.
My wife's watching a show downstairs, and I just can't tell. Like when it gets loud, I can't tell. Is that the baby crying, or is that my wife's show? All right, let me ask you this, Tim. Do you see a path for Notre Dame to get to the 5?
No.
Ohio State would have to lose to Michigan, or
yes,
something crazy would need to happen.
No, exactly. Ohio State loses to Michigan. Ohio State loses to Oregon because they're already clinched. I think that's pretty much clinched. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think it is. No, actually, if Ohio State loses, they have 2 losses. Penn State's in the championship game.
So then, you're still
exactly. So the 5 seed would then be the loser of Penn State, Oregon. I just feel I think that 5 seed is kind of the Big Ten because you're so highly ranked.
But then the SEC could take the 5, then the Big Ten could take the 6. But still, we're in the same discussion.
Yeah, exactly. They're right there. That's where I keep going. I think Texas is going to handle business this week unless. I just do. I think Texas is pretty
fun
good.
Week of college football, Tim.
So Texas. So let's just talk about that for 5 seconds. If Texas loses to Georgia, you see what I said earlier? I think Texas and Georgia could flip-flop. Meaning Texas loses, they become the 8 seed. I don't think the SEC championship loser would lose a home game. That's just a gut feeling I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't see Indiana moving up ahead of those guys. I just don't.
Unless A&M beats Texas and then A&M's a 4-loss.
It's insane. It's still dude, there's so many damn dominoes still to go.
I know. It's fun. So this is a look at the top 14 or the top week 14 matchups. Obviously Texas going to A&M. But you have these other games with playoff implications. Obviously Clemson, South Carolina is an interesting one. Ohio State, Michigan. Miami, Syracuse. Miami's going to Syracuse. The Carrier Dome can be wonky. What's the spread in that game? Let me look this up.
That's one of those hidden
Opened
games.
as a 10.5.
Really? Because Syracuse is a pretty good little football team.
Yeah,
that's a team. That's a team I'm stunned's not ranked. They're like 8-3.
So that is like a sneaky big game right there. If Miami falls, then you have Clemson, right? Clemson be playing the ACC title game.
I believe so.
Yeah, because they only have the one ACC loss to Louisville.
Yes, exactly.
Miami would have losses to Georgia Tech and Syracuse.
Exactly. That's why Clemson's just sitting there, just chilling. Yeah, I mean this thing's far from over. Like I know you texted me the other day, like Bama still has a 20% shot. Legitimately, they do. They do sitting there with 3 losses. Is your point right there? Clemson wins, but then Clemson loses the ACC title game. They're 10-3. You take a Bama over them. I mean, this whole thing is there's still some massive wild cards to fall, but he is just Notre Dame, man. I think Notre Dame's going to wrap up that 6-7 seed.
Yeah,
because there will be a debate with Penn State Notre Dame once SC's done, because that's a common opponent.
Yeah, I just want to. I say this. I think every week we do the show, Tim. September 7th. Remember that day? I mean, we were like, Bench Riley, is Freeman the guy? All these things. And you talk about now, not only is Notre Dame, knock on wood, right? Knock on wood. Not only is Notre Dame going to beat or be in the playoff game, beating USC, right? They're going to host, no doubt about it. Like 2-3 weeks ago, Tim and I were kind of like, oh man, 8-9. There's been some unexpected SEC losses, right? But Notre Dame now is definitely going to host. 2 months ago, this time 2 months ago, a couple days before that Louisville game, we were like, shit, man, we're going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, or maybe we could sneak in as the 11 seed or something.
Dude, you're texting me Pop-Tart Bowl updates. Okay, you've been sending me updates on what's going on because you're like, because I've been talking about it
like,
so much.
What a just shift that we like. Again, Freeman's not the guy. To now, people on the message board are saying, extend Freeman.
Extend him, exactly.
Extend Freeman.
No, it's like no. Beat SC. Just get the SC, damn it.
And you know what's interesting, Tim? This recruiting class. We'll talk about this more next Wednesday, signing day show. If you could, are you going to be there? Can you do it?
Yeah, I mean, where am I going?
I think we'll do Tuesday
night. Hold on, unless Notre Dame. I'm taking 3 months off if they don't win. But anyway,
I don't know if we'll do our Tuesday. Oh, I guess we'll have to. Is that the?
Oh yeah, I mean we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do a Tuesday show next week, but we'll do a Wednesday show. Goolsby's in, so me and Goolsby, like we typically do. And then, anyways, if Notre Dame wins playoff games here, it's like recruiting is like, man, just trust the process, man. Just trust the process. It's like Michigan winning the title and they have like the 15th ranked class or something. It's like, it's not, is what it is. We just won a national championship, asterisk.
I mean, did we talk about this? Maybe me and you after the show where we talked about, it's because, there's going to be, talking recruiting here real quick is, obviously Notre Dame's not going to get a top 10 class. They're going to be in that 12, 14-ish range, somewhere in there. Every year they've dropped a little bit lower each and every year. But if you could legitimately get the right guys, because guys are going to transfer. I mean, especially in the SEC, those kids are going to get impatient. They're going to leave. We've already seen it the last 2 years. Dudes are leaving all over the damn place. But if you just get the right core of guys and you just keep doing this each and every damn year, and you go mix it in with 8 to 10 portal guys, man, and you just build a culture, build a team off of that. Yeah. Notre Dame is right there. You get the right guys together.
Yeah, I think they're doing that. Like, you have some high-end impact guys at the top of this class with your Jadon Blair, your Mark Zachary, your Dallas Golden, obviously Will Black. I don't know if I said him. Like, James Flanagan, big-time guys. Yeah. And then you have that group of guys that's your fringe 4-star, 3-star guys that Notre Dame needs to hit on, more of them than they don't hit on, right? And then
Yeah.
supplement in the portal, don't have a ton of roster turnover. And yeah, you get the quarterback position right. Notre Dame's cooking. Get the receivers. Tim, last thing before we sign off.
Sure.
Favorite Thanksgiving dish or two? Side dish.
Always a huge stuffing guy.
Same.
Love stuffing.
With
My
this-
mother-in-law makes this amazing gravy. It's freaking awesome. And then
I like the box stuffing and you add some sausage in. I'm just gonna throw that.
I
out
like
there.
box stuffing in the off season with a little extra butter, but that's just me. But
Okay.
that's okay. And then my mom and grandma, man, they the old green bean casserole with all the grilled onion toppers on top.
That's my specialty, Tim.
I'm an onion ring guy, so anything with onions on it, onion rings, I'm in for it. So, and then another shout out to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, Donna, makes these amazing, just cream onions. These onions with this sauce. I don't know with pepper. I don't know what the hell it is, but they are to die for.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So basically, I like a lot of stuff at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Stuffing, green bean casserole for sure. I love the sweet potato casserole with the little marshmallows on top. You know that one?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what.
Love that one.
A little Hyde tradition with the yams is you just put them in a frying pan, grill them real slow with brown sugar and butter, and they just soak. That's a lot of fat. All right, it's not we're not doing diets on Thanksgiving, right?
No.
But that's my grandmother, unbelievable cook, and she would just let that cook for hours on the lowest low heat, brown sugar and butter. What's better than sugar and butter just roasting in a potato, Mike? Come on.
Bob says predictions. Well, listen, Bob, we're about to record our predictions video, and then you'll get to watch it on Friday. You'll get to watch it on Friday around like 11 a.m. or noon Eastern time. So you'll get to watch that then.
Well, let's just do a quick one. You can't go to overtime like Penn State did, and you got to win by more than 3. So basically, Penn State and SC were 0-0 after 4 quarters since they went to OT. So anything above that is a win for Notre Dame on Saturday.
Folks, appreciate you all for watching, and as always, we will catch you next time.